So you've spent all that time polishing your LinkedIn profile, right? But what if I told you it just got a new job? One you didn't even know about. Yep, today we're diving into how your professional data is being used to train AI.
It's true. I mean, think about it. Every single skill you've listed, every endorsement you've gotten, every connection you've made, it's all being scooped up into this gigantic data set. And its new purpose? To teach artificial intelligence. So, the big question is, should you be worried about this? Well, that's what we're here to figure out. Let's dig into what's actually going on with your data and, what this all means for your professional life online.
All right, first up, let's get right to the heart of this whole controversy.
Okay, so here's the deal. LinkedIn has come out and said, yes, we're using the public data from your profiles to train our AI. And we're not just talking about the basics like your name and job title. No. This goes deeper. It's about the patterns, how your career has progressed, the exact skills you've chosen to show off, and even the way you write about your experience. And the sheer scale of this is just mind-boggling. Over 1 billion users. But you know what's even more important than the number? It's the quality of that data. I mean, this is probably the biggest, most detailed, most perfectly structured collection of professional data on the planet. For anyone trying to build a business-savvy AI, this isn't just data, it's a gold mine, a literal gold mine.
And here's the thing, right? For most of us, LinkedIn isn't just some social site we scroll through. It's a critical tool for our careers. There are actual studies showing that a good profile can boost your chances of getting an interview by a whopping 71%. So we kind of have to be on there, which creates this interesting situation where, just by using the platform to help our careers, we're also feeding our data into this new AI training machine.
Okay, so this leads us to what's probably the thorniest part of this whole discussion. It's not just that they're using our data, it's how they're getting our permission. Or are they?
I mean, whose job is it to protect your data anyway? Privacy groups, like the one quoted here, are making a really strong point. They're saying the responsibility shouldn't fall on you to have to become a detective, digging through endless settings menus just to say, hey, please don't use my data like this. The default shouldn't be use it.
Let's just quickly break this down because it's super important. Opt-in is like someone asking, hey, can I borrow your car? You have to say yes first. Opt-out is like they just take your car and leave a note saying, if you didn't want me to take it, you should have hidden the keys. See the difference? One requires your permission up front. The other assumes it has it until you protest.
And this is where it gets, well, kind of messy. LinkedIn's system isn't just a simple on-off switch. Oh no, there's one setting for their fancy generative AI. But wait, there's more. If you want to stop them from using your data for other kinds of machine learning, you have to hunt down a totally separate data processing objection form. I mean, come on. A lot of critics are saying this whole thing feels deliberately complicated.
All right, let's pull back for a second and look at the bigger picture here. Because this isn't just a LinkedIn story. What they're doing is just one small piece of a much larger puzzle, a massive, high-stakes race across the entire tech industry to dominate the world of AI.
And if you want to understand the why behind all this, well, follow the money. Let's take a quick look at a market called e-discovery. Basically, it's a field where AI is used to comb through millions of digital documents for legal cases. It's a perfect example of just how much cash is flowing into systems that can understand professional data.
So right now, in 2024, that e-discovery market is worth almost $17 billion. With a B. That's a huge number.
But check this out. By 2029, just a few years from now, that number is expected to explode to over $25 billion. That is a crazy jump in just 5 years. So what's lighting the rocket fuel under this market?
You guessed it, it's AI. That growth rate, over 8% every single year, is being driven almost entirely by companies adopting artificial intelligence. And that is the kind of financial pressure that makes a company look at 1 billion user profiles and see, well, fuel for the fire.
So, with that much money floating around, it's absolutely no surprise that businesses are jumping on the AI bandwagon as fast as they can. But it's not all smooth sailing. As they race to get ahead, they're hitting some pretty big roadblocks.
And yeah, they really are jumping in. A recent survey found that more than half, over 57% of businesses are already actively deploying generative AI. And most of the rest are either testing it out or seriously looking into it. Pretty much nobody is ignoring this.
So why the rush? Well, it's pretty clear. The number one reason companies are diving in is to improve their products and services. That's what almost half of them say. And right behind that, you've got the classic reasons: saving money, and of course, getting an edge over their competitors. But, and this is a big but,
all that excitement is hitting a wall of reality. The number one concern for businesses, by a long shot, is whether the AI's results are even accurate. Can we actually trust this stuff? And then you've got the huge questions of, is this even worth the money? And, wow, this is expensive to set up.
Okay, so we've looked at the controversy. We've looked at the money behind it. And it all comes full circle, right back to you and your data. The professional profile you've spent years building.
And this really is the fundamental clash of our time, isn't it? On one side, you have this relentless, almost desperate push for innovation from the tech world, which needs data, our data, to fuel it. And on the other side, you have our basic right to privacy. And guess what? Your LinkedIn profile is smack dab in the middle of that battlefield.
So it all boils down to this. As AI gets woven deeper and deeper into our careers, who draws the line between useful innovation and, well, an invasion of our privacy? Is it the companies building the tech? Should governments step in? Or, in the end, is it up to each and every one of us to decide? It's a huge question, and one we're all going to have to grapple with.